Hello and welcome to Cougars Den. I'm Joshua Jackson, and joining me today, as always, is ACC Cougars Athletics Director Beth Clark. Thank you for joining us, Beth.
As always, thanks for having me.
So, Beth, let's start off with a recap of this past weekend. How did our teams fare?
Well, our women's hockey team were on the road. They played Wisconsin-Eau Claire, and they won both of those games. And our men's volleyball hosted Red River. They lost both, but they solidified a spot in their playoffs. So, that was a chance for the guys just to get some reps and a few more players to get on the court. And actually, our women's volleyball, that was sort of the big news of the weekend. They were going in with playoffs on the line, and they ended up pulling out a Saturday win 3-0 versus Red River, which solidified their spot in playoffs as well. So that was a big win for those girls.
The regular season is starting to wind down, but the excitement is building. How do things look for our potential playoffs for our Cougars teams?
Yeah, so both of our women's and men's volleyball teams have qualified for the Manitoba College Athletic Conference playoffs. Those are held at the end of the month. It's the first time in my history at the college that both teams have made it to the finals, so that's pretty exciting for both of those teams. And then women's hockey will be heading to nationals in Dallas at the end of March as well. And then futsal, we're still in the middle of season, so we got some time to figure that out.
So with the women's hockey team poised to go to nationals, we had a chance to meet one of our Cougars hockey players. Here's Tyler Head with Blair Bodie.
Joining me now is one of our ACC Cougars women's hockey players, Blair Bodie. Blair, tell me a bit about where you're from.
I'm from Thompson, Manitoba.
What has your previous athletics experience been in high school or at a club level?
In high school, I played some different school sports like soccer and badminton, and then I played midget, women's, Norman Wild hockey.
What position do you play?
I play forward.
What program are you taking here at ACC?
I'm taking early childhood education.
Why did you decide to join the Cougars women's hockey team?
I wanted to continue playing a sport that I enjoy and still be able to go to school closer to home.
Tell us a bit about what your experience has been like playing for the Cougars.
It's been a really good experience. I've made some really good friends, and the school is really supportive of our hockey program.
What would you say some of the highlights have been for you being involved in athletics here at ACC?
The highlights have probably been getting to go to nationals last year and all the friends that I've met through the hockey program.
What are your hopes for your team going forward with the remainder of the season?
We're hoping to go to nationals and hopefully win at nationals.
Excellent. Well, Blair, we wish you all the best here at ACC in both your school and work and your time with the Cougars. Thanks for joining us. Let's get back to Josh and Beth.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. On each of these segments, we like to showcase ACC's Athlete of the Week. Who have you got for us this week?
So this week it's Blair Delamere, and as I mentioned, the women's volleyball team has qualified for playoffs. She was a big reason as to why they did that. She was out of position playing middle on the weekend, but her efficiency was outstanding. She had 8 kills on just 11 attempts and 0 errors. So not only that, but she was also just a spitfire. She had a lot of energy bringing on and off the court for the team, which helped propel them to the win and ultimately to the finals here.
Coaches play such an important role with our athletic programs. Which coach are we meeting this week?
We featured all of our head coaches, but we do have a ton of assistant coaches that help us out. So there's Terry and Tara, there's Mary, Sam, Lindsay, Kate, Jerry, and Vitaly, and I hope I haven't missed anyone. April Burgundy also helps out. She's an athletic therapist for us, but I do want to give a shout out to Larry Shannon. He's been with the Cougars for 18 years plus. He is an alumni of our hockey program. He played in the 80s, and he would just bend over backwards for these teams. He does all sorts of stuff behind the scenes, and he's selfless and just an ultimate Cougar fan. So a huge shout out and thank you to him.
So we are near the end of our time today. What Cougars action can we look forward to this coming weekend?
So actually our futsal teams are back in action. They're the only ones playing this weekend. On Saturday they head into Winnipeg to play Red River and Canadian Mennonite University, and the other teams have a bye, as again we mentioned they're working up to playoffs, so they need a little bit of rest in between now and then.
We'll be back next week to recap those scores and standings and bring you more ACC Cougars news. Beth, once again, where can we catch these games online and keep up with the scores?
Well, we have all the social media outlets. We've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, our website, assiniboine.net/athletics. Usually those are all kept pretty well up to date, so definitely keep an eye out for us.
Thanks, Beth, for joining us today. I'm Josh Jackson, and we'll see you next week on Cougars Den right here on Newsline. Stay tuned. Spencer Kep is up with the Newsline weather.